Welcome back to the Peanut Gallery, everybody. I'm Joseph.
I'm Jolene.
Last week you saw my story, which there probably will be part two too. Part
2 as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There'll probably be a sequel to it because I forgot to go through a lot of relationship stuff. But anyway, today it's Jolene's story, and I'll try and think of questions as you go to help
Sure.
along.
All
So
right.
here we go.
Yep, this is not easy for me to be vulnerable to
Everybody.
whoever watches this video because I wasn't allowed to be vulnerable in my family. I don't remember much about my childhood, but I have been told that I've had a hard life. I've been thrown around by my stepdad, although I do recall my stepdad punishing us if we did certain behaviors. It was the 80s. He was trained that way, so therefore that's all he knew. Still doesn't change the effects it has happened and given me some strengths as well. My mom left my biological father when she was pregnant for me because he had hit my sister. And then I have no idea what happened in between those. Apparently when I was younger, my mom told me this, I punched one of her boyfriends in the nose. Couldn't tell you if it's true. I do know my uncle called me Wild Bill, so I can only imagine how much energy I have. And looking at my kids that I have, I'm pretty sure I know which ones I'm most like in that aspect.
Your sister told me about that nickname too.
So, which is great. I love my sister, by the way. I hope she knows this wholeheartedly, but she's the only full-blood sibling I have. Anyways, my teenage years, well, obviously, I didn't necessarily do well in school because it didn't interest me whatsoever. Not that I had support from my parents because, well, they only can help me with the skills they have, right? So I was led to live life because they couldn't tell me anything, so they say. I don't know, I have no recollection. When I was 14, I moved, and I ended up dating my first boyfriend ever. Oh no, yes, my first boyfriend ever. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself in my head. Anyways, he manipulated me into having sexual intercourse with him for the first time, and there wasn't just me in the room, there were other people too. It was a cabin, neither here nor there. I forgive him for that because I don't think he knew any better, which is okay because we were 14 at the time. And then there was my next significant relationship was my first child's father, and I was 16, he was 20. It was a rocky relationship and I was aggressive. He pushed me, I had punched him. No, he didn't charge me, but it didn't last very long. I ended up having a kid with him who now is 28, I think. As you get older, your mind goes. So anyways, 28. That didn't work out. I moved to the city. Being a 16-year-old mother, I was doing everything that a 16-year-old mother was expected to do because they didn't have those proper skills. So I moved to the city with all kinds of plans, ended up partying stuff. Not really every day of the week. I dabbled in it and I enjoyed life because you only live once, right? You just got to do it smart. So my next one was a physically abusive relationship, and I had a child and at age 19 with this one. The trauma there, he had threatened to take her from me, and he tried to kidnap her, and I attacked him. Damn right I did. That is my child. You don't steal my child. Anyways, cops were called. I lost her. I had a certain amount of time to try to get her back, and at that time we didn't know what we know now about how the mind works and stuff. Not as in detailed as it is, but it was around. Those attachment theories was around. I had assessment done, and at that time I was diagnosed as being anxious attachment, which means a lot of anxiety and thoughts and stuff, just like you, like I said.
Well, I am now.
You probably always were
Minus the violet part.
passive aggressive though.
Yeah, grr. Anyway, go ahead.
You're allowed to have emotions. Anyways, where was I at?
Anxious attachment.
Anxious attachment. Oh, and by the way, if you watch these videos, you'll probably see that I have ADHD because my mind's all over the place. I believe it's because I was an overly energetic child that they didn't understand at that time in life. Okay, so I was 19, had my second child, lost that child unwillingly, couldn't break the bond that the child agency wanted me to break. Like 18 months is not time to get over the traumas that the parents had conditioned me with unintentionally. So I did a lot of partying in there when I was 18, before my second child was born, and I did raves and I did ecstasy, Molly, and you know what, those were some of the best times of my life. I was free, no one was controlling me, no one was telling me my feelings didn't matter. Like, doesn't matter how intense one person is, you need to look at them with different eyes, because the eyes you're looking at them with are generally judgmental, but we're all trained to be that way. So yeah, I'm gonna go ramble. Anyways, the next child I had is when, actually no, I got pregnant in between that, and I went against my beliefs and stuff. Like, I did not for one believe in abortion, but what I had did to my third child was really, maybe I'm all confused on the time frame. Yes, no.
Yeah,
My third child was born first, which is fine. He found out that guy was married, and I made him have a choice, and he's never had anything to do with the son, and the son's he's a brilliant, smart person.
Smart as hell.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve to have that. And then I got pregnant after that. The third kid I was, how old? Hold on. 2002. How old were you in 2002?
Me?
Yes.
25.
So I was 23 years old when I had him.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with remembering a lot of stuff. I had an abortion because I did something that I should never even thought of. I don't regret it, but it definitely was a learning experience at that age. And I did what I felt was right for the unborn child, which I don't have regrets. It's just sad because I should have been better. Not that I should have been better. I did it for the right reasons, and it still went against my beliefs, but it was for the right reasons.
Excuse me.
And it's sad because you can grieve. Then let's speed up till how old? Oh yes, I lost custody of my first child, the father, who was 20 at the time, and the grandparents raised him. I lost custody of my second child because of an abusive relationship. Third child, I've been the only parent in his life. There was a time he had to go somewhere because him and I weren't getting along, and it was for the best for both of us. And it's not like I put him out on the street. I made sure he had a place to go at his aunt's. And then I met the father of the last two. Love at first sight, so I thought. That I should have ran away, but hindsight's always 20/20. So I got pregnant for my fourth child, and yeah, it was supposed to. My fourth child ended up being a boy instead of a girl. That they told me that they were 94% sure that it was a girl, or yeah, it was a girl. Good thing my best friend since I was, the friend who's been in my life the longest ever, was there and helped me get through that initial shock of it being a boy. And then I know I'm just speeding right through it because there's all kinds of other stuff
You
in
always
there.
go back to that stuff.
Okay, good. That relationship with my first child father was rocky. He was out screwing other people, and I don't know, I accept the fact that he was probably out screwing other people and it didn't matter and blah blah blah, which was a lie to myself. So then I got planned pregnancy for the last one, and it was still just as rocky as it was in the first place. Like, yeah, no, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I know when I get provoked or disrespected, I have no problem saying it. Being a scapegoat has given me that strength to be able to do that. Like, in jest, not cool. And I will say, even if I'm not involved in it, I will say, because nobody deserves to be hurt, picked on. They need to be cared about, because there's people out there who are forgotten or feel that they're forgotten, which would be some of the things I've been dealing with today. I wasn't going to do this video, but here we are doing this video. I had to smoke some medicine to calm my nerves, but I will still be I still am being a little bit emotional. I was physically abused when it was punishment. I understood the concept of it. When I was 16, I knew that I was not necessarily that my parents had the intent of hurting me. It's just they just didn't know any better. Not saying they're stupid, because they're not. But, and I'm like the black sheep of the family. I don't feel like I fit in. To be honest, I miss my family. But that's obviously as one-sided as the relationship with my oldest son. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We'll go back to my 5th kid, same father, last child. Yeah. When he was like just 2 years old, his father left me for another woman. And just to say, I'm not trying to be a victim. Yes, it still hurts, but grief's just love not being able to be expressed. That's all grief is. And it's not like emotions are bad. People should be more in touch with their emotions so they can be more human, like we're supposed to be. And we gotta remember that in those times of certain emotions that go way off. Because I'm not saying I'm clean shit of Turtle Island. Well, maybe. But I am me, and I am worth something, and I have no problem saying it. So with my 5th kid, which I'm done. I'm like, no, I try to go in and get them to remove my uterus. Like, just take the uterus, leave the ovaries the day of, but they wouldn't do it, and I think they should have. Buggers. Which is driving me crazy. So I've had mental health issues due to the fact of being raised and the traumas of the men not just leaving me, but betraying me. Just a few years ago, if anybody who knows me, my 2nd child came back into my life. Yeah, and we were able to talk. It's like she's more like not my child, a friend, family friend. I don't even know how. It's a weird situation.
Excuse me.
I mean, she's great. She just recently had her second daughter.
Excuse me.
So now she's got 2 granddaughters. as to, I've worked hard, and went back and got my grade 12 GED. I've also got 2 post-secondary educations. It's this internal drive that I'm going to change the system, because the system, it fails families, and the families need to be together. Because a lot of these problems in life are because our parents aren't educated enough, because the schools never taught our parents. It was a totally different time. And we've evolved. Now it's time for the system to evolve as well. I lost my children. Actually, no, 2 of them were taken. 1 was staying because somebody in my neighborhood at this time frame had said that he was locked out. My youngest was locked out. At that point, I was working 2 full-time jobs. And when I say full-time jobs, I'm talking about I was working 16 hours, and it was the beginning of the school year, and I was exhausted, and I had no support from my family, from the boyfriend there at the time, and my mom had actually just passed away the year before this, or no, the year of this happening. So it's not like I had support from anybody. It was hard to do it on my own, but I did it. Alright. It still hurts, because loss has been the common theme in my life. And it's not necessarily circumstances that I fully had any control over. And there'll be more to that in a few. So, I had won my kids back that time, and I was allowed to parent. And then I was helping people, and somebody else called and said something else. Yes, at these points, I was doing certain drugs. I won't lie. I never lied to Child Protection Agency either. So with that being said, that's a different story. Another day, different story. Anyways, and then I lost him, and I only can get him about 40% because something to do with my childhood trauma. But where the Nova Scotia mental health system, it fails its people numerous times, and this is another reason why I'm going in for my 3rd diploma for addictions and community practitioner. Health practitioner, excuse me. So I can help with allowing families and stuff to have that information and stuff that they need. I'm going to be there to help people, because if I can do it, I know everybody can do it. And it's in the way how our system and each other actually puts the effort in to actually, truthfully, and intentfully come from the heart and help each other, not expecting anything, because we shouldn't be like that. Money? Holy crap, don't even get me started on money, and I won't get my started on money, and you're being very quiet, and I'm right nervous.
I'm just here.
No, you're not. You're not just here. You're not just here at all. And I wish you wouldn't look down on yourself like that. So where was I? Since you were just here?
Money.
No,
You
before
said
that.
don't get me started on
Before
money.
that. Before that. Before that.
That's why you're going in for your diplomas, to keep families together and teach them what they need to know.
I've been upgrading my education, getting skills, like intentfully learning, because I want the knowledge. I'm like Short Circuit. Johnny
Johnny
Five is alive. need input. So, the last tragedy that has happened to me was last year with my oldest child. In the run of it, he called me out on what he believed my behavior or choices and what he believed to be the truth, because he was talking to whoever else and they gave him whatever else information, but he never once came talk to me. To face those, I don't recall intentionally physically abusing them, but I guarantee you I probably did emotionally, because at that point my parents never gave me those skills necessary to do that. So, but I do have loving family out there who I do love very much, and who I miss intensely. Anyway, so go back to the trauma. See, ADHD. He pretty much said a lot of not very nice words. Definitely, in my opinion, coming from a place of hurt. But I'm not being a victim here. This is not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so I can help people heal. Because there's more than just me out there that their children don't want to talk to them for whatever reasons that they hold to be true for themselves. It's estrangement. It's one of the hardest forms of grief I've ever had to deal with. And most of my life, that I can recall, I was the only one who actually had my back. And in the end, I am the only one technically that has my back.
I do now.
Well, you'll do the best you can.
Yeah.
But you've been there for more emotional support than anybody.
Which is ironic, considering how I have trouble with my own emotions.
Maybe you learn from me. I have no problem doing it. Like, crying. I don't recall my life being hard. I don't know what hard is. I just classify my life as my life. There's sad things that happen and there's great things that happen. It's always only value we as humans put forth to anything. They tell you to detach. Well, when you're emotionally attached to people, and there's some form of attachment, healthy attachment in relationships that is necessary. So there's avoidance, who now I've been diagnosed being an avoidant attachment, which I don't understand because I am definitely not emotionally avoidant. I talk about the future. I ask questions. Well, I did at first, but I got my own crap to deal with and you have yours. If I can do it, other people can do it. And I'm grateful for you to be in my life.
Let me know you're ready for some questions.
You can ask questions, you can interrupt. I don't have a problem as much as other people do.
It's not really a question. You can let me know how much it baffles you that I'm one of the people you remember from school, because neither one of us remember too much from high school.
Well, I wasn't there very long, and my nose won't stop running.
Yeah, you were only there a year. That was my last year there.
That was pretty much
before
my last year there. Before I quit, and then I'm like, fuck this shit, gone.
Yeah, we remember each other from high school, surprisingly. She brings up other people, no idea.
I'm like, you'll know when you see them, because I don't know. Our first date. What? Oh wait, yeah, we're to date a bunch of people well, no, not a bunch of people. A couple people in between. Some that literally ghost me. They're not as important as the other ones that have a big part
Like
of
the kids
trauma.
stuff.
Big part of my traumas.
Yeah, you tell
And
me
then
your
there's Jody.
perspective of our first date.
Or Joseph. My perspective on your first date. Well, I thought it was so fucking cute that he came with flowers. I don't recall anybody ever doing that. I figured we ended right off right from the get-go. Like, I was comfortable with you. The energy was like just, it felt right.
There was a Chinese food.
And then we went to play pool.
And I had to ask you if I could get a second date.
He didn't have to. He just chose to.
Well, remember, I didn't think I was going to get a first date, so.
Well, this is what thinking does for him. It doesn't do so well.
And your perspective on our drive to Digby.
Oh, well, fuck, I'll tell you right now. I'm like, you're the one.
Music.
I'm pretty sure you're the one. Fuck the music. I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty details about, like, I knew. It wasn't out of, we hadn't even kissed or really overly connected
that's
at
right.
that point, which means there was something there. And I said, you're the one I'm supposed to be with.
I got breaking myself up for a minute.
Good.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind. I don't think they
You
care.
can let them
Doesn't
know how I was a gentleman and I waited. I even turned my head at certain moments. I didn't kiss her on the first date.
Nope.
Didn't do anything. She held my hand going across the bridge because that's my...
It's one of your things.
It's not important why.
It's your thing.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
She held my hand going across the bridge. I didn't try and kiss her. I didn't try and sleep with her. It was like technically we were dating for like 3 days before we actually did anything. So I was a gentleman. I'm proud of myself. And that's because so many women are used to men just
Trying to ride him.
like half an hour into the first date. You want to go do it? Like, fuck off. Anyway, yeah, I said it. Be a gentleman.
Yes.
If you really
This
like
is
the
why
woman,
people court.
wait.
This is why people court. They tell you to court for a good reason.
Yes. We still have a little bit.
Okay. I just know the time's going.
Yeah. That thing pisses me off, some men. I fucked her on the first date. Like, really? Don't even try on the first date. Anyway, I'm getting worked up. Well, I waited and waited. Because we hung out our first date. We hung out the next day. We hung out the next day. And I still didn't try and kiss her. So.
I think we work very well together.
But
We
I was
had
up front with
moments,
you too. I told you I'm going to wait till you're ready for everything.
which was great because that shows respect to me.
I waited. It wasn't easy because we did sleep in the same bed.
Especially because of his addiction.
Yeah, I have a sex addiction.
We
I don't know if I
already said
mentioned that in the
Yes, you
first one, did
yes,
I?
you did.
My bad.
No, it's not.
But yeah, it was difficult. I actually think we would have lasted longer if I hadn't started like using my fingernails.
Well, we are where we are, so we can't dwell in the past, change it.
Right now we're in a tent.
Yeah, which we've been staying for the past.
3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't want to sleep in the house. I can't wait to be able to tour.
Next
don't have
summer,
very many
we have to
questions.
bring it
You
out
put-
earlier.
Yeah,
anyway,
well, lesson
Keep
learned.
going with your story. You can go back and
My
add
story.
places,
Well, you add. Oh yeah.
add
What do I need
places
to
you
add?
missed.
See, this is the problem. I've been fighting to get medicated for ADHD, but they want to give me antidepressants. Antidepressants don't work for me. The last antidepressants I took, I tried to kill myself. And then I snapped too. And this is when, the day before my youngest was born.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like,
Got hair on my tongue.
my biggest stresses in life are my significant relationships. I
My
gain
bad.
weight, I lose hair, especially, it's not your bad. No. At least you see your behavior and you want to change it,
Going to therapy and shit.
which I'm proud of you for. Oh, speaking of which, yeah, in that message from my oldest, he literally told me I wouldn't amount to anything.
Rick Ram.
Yeah, and that I had chose drugs over the children, which isn't true. There's a whole freaking story to that he knows nothing about because he didn't have the audacity or balls to come talk to me about it, which I wish he would have done. I don't like the way it ended, but you know what? It still hurts because I love him, but it's his life. In the end, when I'm dead, and I'm going to die, so it's not like he is going to regret it. And that's not my fault. It was all in his choices.
He's the one I haven't met yet, obviously.
You probably won't. I'm not inviting him to our wedding. He had a child too. Yeah, this is what the incident happened. Oh, and he got married this weekend. Yeah, my sister went. My third oldest went. And I wasn't included, but that's okay. I tried to talk to my sister about certain aspects and how I felt like I wasn't part of the family and stuff, and I brought up a time that I believe that she did not invite me to the family get together. She invited the brother, the half brother we have, but she didn't invite the sister. And she's like, I don't want to listen to this. She told me she loved me. She told me have a good night. Now, that is devaluing somebody's feelings. And on top of it, I'm pretty sure my hormones are doing their thing because Miss Flo had to show. You okay?
Yeah, starting to get a headache right here.
Too much negativity. So on that note, what are you grateful for? No, what are you grateful for? You have a headache. We're going to take care of you. No, it's not. 31.
Pepsi.
And?
23?
Yes, quick.
Shit.
Come on, 1, 2, 3. You can do it.
Pepsi, nachos, and meatloaf. The singer or the food, don't matter.
I am grateful for Joseph, the tent, and Mother Earth.
That's right. I imagine we'll both end up doing a sequel because obviously you try and condense this in half an hour, you'll forget stuff because we don't write shit down, we don't script it, we ramble and bring it out. So we'll probably both have a sequel.
And hopefully we'll help somebody in their journeys because we're not the only people going through things like this.
That's our goal.
No way,
try to help
it's
somebody.
not logical. Till next time.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.